Because so much is at stake here. These are pro-Trump protesters.
Oh, hi.
Who are saying what the
We'll get
president
started
has
on the
saying,
review in
"Stop
just a
the
minute.
vote." Now, that's particularly interesting here because, as you know,
Pull this up and we'll get the review here going. I don't want to waste you guys' time. Oh, look, Lucy did a Michael Myers jack-o'-lantern. Oh, jeez. Oh, thank goodness it didn't break, but we got to get rid of these things anyway. Okay. But listen, so now let's cut the nonsense. The first thing that ouch! Oh my gosh. The first thing we really want to do is take a look if you can find the review sheet on your the table of contents under review for exam 2. So just pull up that review sheet and then we'll chat. Descartes' skeptical arguments: illusion, dream, evil demon. Descartes' cogito and his solution to skepticism, including the trademark argument and the divine guarantee. Well, then it tells you the videos to rewatch if you need to do that. The one about Descartes, episode of Deepest Flux, and that's on Talon. I've got it there for you. And then you might have to go back and look at that Renee's Funland, but this time you won't have to flip the dice or anything. You can just watch them in the order in which they occur to remind yourself of that basic scheme. But remember, now I'll just say this right now, Descartes, the reason knowledge gets called into question, the reason we can't be certain, Descartes says, that we're in Iowa 2 + 2 = 4, is because of the 3 skeptical arguments going down with that upside down triangle. That's the whirlpool. There's the argument from illusion, dream argument, and the evil demon argument. Gosh, it's been so long since we did that. It's the evil demon argument that calls everything into question. You could even be wrong about math according to the evil demon argument. Now, then there's Descartes' solution to skepticism, the cogito. I think, therefore I am. Cogito ergo sum. And then you go from that to, you have an idea of God. It's a perfect idea, so it could have only come from a perfect being. So there must be a God who's perfect, who planted that idea in you. But if there's a perfect God, he would not be a deceiver. So the trademark argument is that argument that says God had to be the one who planted the idea of God in your mind. The divine guarantee argument says a perfect God wouldn't deceive you about everything. You would not be radically deceived. Mind-body interaction. So that's the next unit that we've got on this. Descartes' explanation of mind-body interaction. Well, that's on that video called The School of Deepest Crash Flux in 10 Seconds. And then you also get Hobbes's view there. Remember, the trick is just this. Descartes thinks there are 2 radically different substances. There's mind, non-physical, and body, which is physical, and that they interact with each other. Hobbes's view is that there's just one substance, matter, and so really the mind is just the brain. He's a materialist. Descartes is a dualist. The main objection to Descartes' explanation of mind-body interaction is how can, let's see, there's a truck pulling up here. I don't know if he's here for me or not, but anyway, Bunch Company. Well, I'm sorry, but okay, anyway, the main objection is how can 2 radically different substances interact? How can mind rub up against body to, if mind is not physical and body's physical, there's no way they can rub up against each other for interaction to occur. So how can my will to raise my hand make it go up if my non-physical soul can't touch my physical brain? The Turing test and Searle's Chinese room, if you don't remember those, watch those little videos again on YouTube. I won't go through them now, but remember, Turing test is to prove that there is the reasonable standard at which we should believe robots can think. The Chinese room thought experiment is to show we should never think robots can think, no matter, even if they're like Alicia in that Twilight Zone, who interacted kind of like a human interacts with us. You all are nice. If you've made it this far, thank you for putting up with all of the nonsense of it. But finally, the problem of personal identity. You want to know what the problem is, and the problem is also, that's the problem of persistence through time as well. Then there's, so the problem, and the problem is, what is it that makes you the same as that little baby your mother or father or guardian has a picture of? The body theory says it's because you have the same body. The worry about that is that, do you really have the same body that you had when you were a little baby? Doesn't look the same. The memory theory, or psychological theory, there are a lot of different names for that. The memory theory says the reason you're the same person as you were when you were a little baby is because you have the same memories. The objection is, again, that seems to be false. What do you remember that the baby remembered? You don't even know. So that's the worry. The video on it, A Case of Mistaken Personal Identity, goes through those ideas, and then there's the essay, but those are the big points on personal identity. And I didn't list Parfit on that. I'm not about to add it now. Finally, the Twilight Zones. Know the basic plots of the ones we've seen and be able to discuss. Well, there are only the two. There's Where Is Everybody, and there is the one about Alicia that we were just talking about. Oh my gosh, I'm going to blank on it. Let's see. The one about Alicia and The Lonely, it's called. Where Is Everybody? The Lonely. If you don't know about those, either watch them, find them and watch them, or if in a worst case situation, look them up on Wikipedia. I think there are entries on all of the Twilight Zones episodes. So anyway, now last thing before we end this video about the essay. Pick your own topic. Show me that you've learned about your topic and that you've learned more than a person who just looked on the internet for a few minutes. That's a good way to look at it, is that you want to show that you're the expert on it. But I mean, don't worry yourself to death about it, but just do the best you can to really present yourself as, well, here's what I know about this. And follow the instructions too, of course, but it's a good chance for you to show that you really became the expert on whichever topic you had. It's fine. I think I got them all listed, but if your group's topic, you can use that for your essay, whatever your group's topic was. Remember, if you get stuck or if you have any questions, feel free. You can email me, or you can text me, or you can call me. And oh, what's that? Somebody's calling right now. Hi, this is Chris McCord of Kirkwood Community College. Did you have a question about Exam 2, an Intro to Philosophy? Oh, yeah, I'm happy to talk to you. Okay, now I'm back out here, and I'm in my street clothes. What happened was I forgot to do free will, so let me just do that now. I actually didn't forget. I might have forgot to hit the record button, but I went through the whole thing, so here I go again. Definition of free will according to libertarians. Well, you could have done otherwise. The definition of free will according to compatibilism means that your own strongest impulse is what causes you to do what you do. The three theories on free will: compatibilism, hard determinism, and libertarianism. So you know what those are. Compatibilism says that hard determinism is true, but we still count you as free so long as your brain is what's causing you to do what you do. Hard determinism says your brain causes you to do what you do, but we're not going to call you free, because free means what the libertarians think it means, which is could have done otherwise. Libertarianism is the one view that says even if your brain states are held constant, you can actually do something different, so that there's almost like a miraculous component. Of course, Sartre and Simone de Beauvoir are both libertarians. They do believe, Sartre in the fatigued hiker example says that really a person can keep going. You can choose to keep going. It's just that you'd have to really change a lot about yourself. You'd have to kind of become a new person. Let's see. And the videos freeze there. Hume's main argument about free will. Well, what Hume says is that just as you think weather has a cause, there are laws of nature about the weather. Well, let me try this again. What Hume says is that just as there is cause and effect in nature, we have the same reason to believe there's cause and effect concerning human behavior. So, just as warm air causes melting snow, because first you have warm air and then the snow begins to melt, you have every bit as much reason to believe that human motives cause human behaviors. Flirting causes jealousy is the example I used, and Hume has a lot of other examples too. And there's the video. The video is the Last Free Will and Testament is the video. So if you need a refresher on there, you can do that. Finally, we get to Sartre's perspective. Well, remember the case of the fatigued hiker. That's just Sartre explaining that he really does believe you have free will. Yes, you can choose to be different and keep hiking, but that might involve flipping so many of your beliefs. In effect, what you'd be doing is choosing to move from being a non-athlete to an athlete. So, anyway, I wish I did such a better job when I did that the first time, but now I'm tired. Anyway, all right, well, that's good, I guess.